Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Mornings with Mando, where I go over current events in Dallas, Texas, maybe sometimes just in the state of Texas. Hopefully, you're just enjoying a nice light commute to work, or maybe you're just hanging out on the weekend with your family, enjoying a nice cup of coffee. Either way, sit back, relax, and I got it from here. Since it's the weekend, we're going to try to focus on a little lighter side of the current event spectrum. We're going to first kick things off with talking about the Dallas Second Chance program, which provides job assistance to former prisoners, recently received a significant boost. This significant boost is in the sum of $200,000, a grant from the U.S. Department of Justice to help establish the first county municipal community court. This financial boost is expected to significantly enhance the program's capacity to provide support and resources to young offenders. And I was looking up kind of roughly how successful some of this stuff is and how good it is at reintroducing felons into the community again and getting them jobs and getting them a place to rent, because that's always a very hard thing to do when you're trying to rebuild your life. I personally believe that if you've served your time and you've given back your debt to society and you're trying to actually better your life, isn't that what being a human's about? Trying to correct the mistakes that you make, trying to move forward. We've all been in a sticky situation one time or two, and thank God we chose the right thing, but very easily could have chosen the wrong thing. Now, I'm not excusing everybody, but I think sometimes if somebody's really trying to rebuild their life and get things back in order, they deserve a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. This program, the Second Chance program, has been operating for over 2 years and has helped about 170 formerly incarcerated or soon-to-be released men and women, and that's annually they do this. So every year, they've roughly hit around 170 people that they've helped, which personally, I think that's incredible. I wish that number was higher. It'd be awesome, but, baby steps. They do receive some grants from time to time. It's nothing huge by any means. I know $200,000 as a plus seems like a big a number, and it is. But if you're trying to talk about, this program helps get people houses, helps get them a place to live, helps them get jobs again. There's a big financial toll on some of these on this program, and so I think it's a benefit that if they can get grants in certain departments, I hopefully after that $200,000 boost, that number 170 gets a little bit higher. I'm sure as many of you are aware of that there was an Amber Alert that was issued for a 12-year-old Wahachi girl and she was found safe in South Dallas today. So that was a deactivated Amber Alert. It was, I know I'm saying this wrong, Waxahachie. Yeah. Waxahachie police on Wednesday had asked for the public's help in locating the girl, who was last seen earlier that day on Brenna Road. Authorities had said that she may have run away from home. And the Amber Alert was issued for the girl early Thursday, and authorities had said she was believed to be in grave or immediate danger. Officials with the Waxahachie Police and Homeland Security Investigations said in a news conference Friday that she had been located. "We got her. We found her," Tanya said Mary Magnus, Deputy Special Agent in charge of the HSI Dallas. "She's safe." Let's see if we can get into where she was found. "With the help of an anonymous tip, authorities found her in South Dallas hotel room," said John Perez, the supervisory special agent of the North Texas Trafficking Task Force. Perez said that HSI Dallas Task Force, man, this is a tongue twister this morning. It's because I didn't have my coffee yet. Serves me right. The HSI Dallas Task Force officers, along with the Dallas Police Department, conducted a canvass of the hotel where they found her. "As of right now, Tanya is safe," Perez said. "She is being provided service by the Ellis County Children's Advocacy Center as well as HSI Dallas partner non-government organizations and the victim services provided. No arrests have been made in connection with her rescue," Perez said, "and authorities are still investigating leads in the case." Perez said that the tip came in around 9:30 a.m., and she was recovered within about an hour of that. "She was found in the room alone," Perez said. "When officers knocked on the door, she opened the door and was cooperative with law enforcement." Officials could not say whether they were investigating her disappearance as a runaway case or as a child trafficking case. They did confirm that the child was the subject of a previous Amber Alert in July last year. We were working nonstop in the last 48 hours to ensure that we got to this positive result, not only for Tanya, but for her family, and to show the community that the HSI Dallas stands ready to help anyone, anywhere. This is what Perez said. So it's interesting. This girl has been the subject of a previous Amber Alert last year. Let's go down a little rabbit hole, shall we, people? Oh, that story's behind a paywall. They're not going to let me see it. I'll find it another time, and we'll touch on that again. I'm going to write that story down. All right, guys. The next story I have to cover is going to be on a little bit of a sadder note. 1 dead, 1 wounded in Stemmons corridor shooting, suspect at large, Dallas police say. 1 man was killed and another was wounded in a shooting in the Stemmons corridor Friday, Dallas police said. Officers responded to a shooting call about 2 p.m. in the 1800 block of West Mockingbird Lane, near Harry Hines Boulevard, police said. When they arrived, they found 2 men shot. Officials said 1 man, not yet identified, died at the scene. The other was transported to a local hospital in critical condition. The suspect left the area, police said. No additional information was immediately available. They have declined further comment. This will be a continuing, evolving story. You know, if you have to be going, if you're going around Harry Hines Boulevard, watch out. Keep yourself safe, people. I know my audience is a wide-reaching demographic, so I just want to make sure that you all stay nice and safe. All right, guys. I'm also going to start adding some weather segments in the middle of these. For today's weather on February 17th, 2024, the weather is going to be mostly sunny with the highest temperature of 44 and the lowest temperature of 29 degrees. There is the chance of precipitation is very, very low. You're looking at probably around, it looks like, the chance that it's going to rain is so low they don't even put it. Winds at about 14 miles per hour and humidity at around 40. So it should be a pretty comfortable day today. All right, and the next story we're going to be going into is a man dies after he was found shot multiple times in a Dallas parking lot, police say. A man died after he was found with multiple gunshot wounds in a parking lot in northwest Dallas early Tuesday morning, police had said. Officers had responded to a shooting call around 6:35 a.m. Tuesday to the 111,000th block in Abels Lane near Interstate 35 East and Walnut Hill Lane, according to the police news release. When they arrived, they found a man on the ground in the parking lot with multiple gunshot wounds. He was taken to the hospital where he died, police said. The victim's name has not been released, no arrests have been made in the case, and more information was not released. Anyone with information about the shooting is asked to contact Police Detective Emmanuel Romero at 214-671-3584 or at emmanuel.romero@dallaspolice.gov. The next story we're going to go into, it's not really a Texas story, but we're just going to give it a shout out because I love a good happy ending. A man who spent 37 years in prison after being wrongfully convicted in the 1983 rape and murder of a woman in Tampa, Florida, will receive a $14 million settlement from the city of Tampa, it said Thursday. The man, Robert Dubois, 59, was just 18 when he was arrested in connection with the killing of Barbara Grams, who was 19. She was beaten to death and whose body was discovered behind a dental office on the north side of the city on August 19th of 1983. Mr. Dubois was convicted of first-degree murder and attempted sexual battery in 1985 following a one-week trial in which a jailhouse informant claimed he was guilty, and the prosecutors argued that Mr. Dubois' teeth matched what they described as bite marks on the victim's cheek. He was initially sentenced to death, but 3 years later, the Florida Supreme Court changed that sentence to life in prison. In August of 2020, Mr. Dubois was freed after new DNA evidence came to light that exonerated him and implicated 2 other men who were later charged in the killing. The next year, Mr. Dubois filed for a federal lawsuit against the city of Tampa, 4 former police officers, and the forensic odontologist who had testified against him. On Thursday, the Tampa City Council unanimously approved the settlement, which is to be paid in 3 installments over 3 years. You know what? Good for him. Mr. Dubois commented, "I am just grateful." adding that he had hoped his case could serve as an example for others who had been wrongfully convicted. He said he hoped that they get justice and can move on without having to spend the rest of their life fighting the system that has already wronged them. According to the lawsuit, the odontologist, Dr. Richard Souviron, knowingly fabricated the bite mark evidence in collaboration with the police officers, requesting that they make an impression of Mr. Dubois' teeth from the beeswax, despite the fact that it is not used for making such molds. Because beeswax is too soft to retain its shape, the officers, the suit claimed, made no effort to find the real perpetrator, and instead conspired to conjure additional false evidence against Mr. Dubois, coercing informants to testify against him. You know what? Good for Mr. Dubois. The doctor said in a deposition that he had never fabricated any evidence and had not conspired with the officers to convict Mr. Dubois. Neither he nor his lawyer could immediately be reached for comment on Tuesday evening. According to the settlement documents, the city denied allegations of intentional wrongdoing by the Tampa Police Department or its former officers, who, in depositions, claimed they had never coerced a jail informant to testify against Mr. Dubois. In his own deposition, the jail informant said Mr. Dubois had never confessed to the rape or killing, and that he had been threatened by the officers to provide a false testimony, according to the documents. Luis Vieira, a city council member, said in a statement on Thursday that through the settlement, the council did what it could to do I'm having such a hard time with my words today. Thursday, that through the settlement, the council did what it could do to make this disturbing wrong right. Chief Lee Burkaw of the Tampa Police Department said in a statement on Thursday that that advancements in training and technology have since enhanced its capacity for conducting investigations, ensuring greater accuracy and due process for all. One of the 4 former police officers has since died. The lawyer for the 3 other officers could not be immediately reached for comment on Thursday evening. Mr. Dubois' lawyer, Gail Horn, said that despite advances, courts continued to admit the kind of junk science that let their client wrongfully imprisoned to close to 4 decades. You know, there's always a lot of problems with some of the criminal justice system, and a big thing that I think is now finally starting to come to light is a lot of the forensic science done in the past, and maybe it's starting to make better strides, but it was pretty junk. They did not do a very good job. There is a lot of inconsistencies. A lot of that old blood splatter science was very incorrect. Bite mark science also, a lot of that they found was very incorrect. And believe it or not, fingerprints used in court are an extremely inconsistent thing, dang near 50% wrong. There was I can't remember who he was, but he goes on the Joe Rogan Experience from time to time. And his name is, hold on, I'll be able to get it for you guys. All right, the guy's name is Josh Dubin, and he is the executive director for the Perlmutter Center for Legal Justice. He's a criminal justice reform advocate and a civil rights attorney, and he's done a ton of work with the Freedom Project, or the Innocence Project, which is, again, also going to bat for people who were wrongfully convicted. And it's funny, a lot of people don't know this, but back in the days where Kamala Harris was a DA, she would lock pot smokers up in jail all the time, and her conviction rate was pretty high. She was doing it for that, so for her optics, and she would deny people access to DNA evidence to be able to appeal their court case. That would happen often under her, so you can just take that as you will. Alrighty, everybody, we're going to finish off this episode with just giving you some fun things that you can do around Dallas this weekend from the 16th to the 18th. Let's see here. You've got the 64th Annual Dallas Autorama. See hot rods, custom cars, trucks, motorcycles, and more at the Dallas Market Hall this weekend. The show will also feature an exhibit of Batmobiles called 5 Generations from Gotham City. Tickets and info you can find on fox4.com. Fort Worth also has a home and garden show. You can see Cirque du Soleil Crystal in Fort Worth. You can go and see the Dallas Holocaust Museum. A new exhibit shows women's history through shoes. Walk This Way features 100 pairs of shoes of nearly... Did I read that right? Oh, it's at the Dallas Holocaust Museum. Walk this way at the Dallas Holocaust Museum. Jeez, Mando. Over nearly 200 years, walking spectators through women's labor activism, the fight for the right to vote, and much, much more. Just a little fun fact for you. The first state that ever allowed women to vote was Wyoming. Wyoming. Another thing you can go see this Friday on... Another thing you can go and see is Joe and Cedric the Entertainer at the Texas Trust CU Theater. You can see Rob Schneider at the Arlington Improv. Doak Walker Award presentation at the Armstrong Field House. No, that would have been yesterday, so never mind. Ignore that. Let's go and focus on Saturday. Ignore everything I literally just said because that was all for yesterday. So Saturday, February 17th, something you can do. Skywarm Storm Spotter training in Garland. Ooh. The Fox 4 weather team will be in Garland talking about severe weather safety. The event is being held at the Granville Arts Center in Garland this Saturday. It begins at 9 a.m., everybody. Heartbeats Gala in Dallas, a foundation created in the memory of Zachary Scar, a Plano East football player who collapsed during practice and died in 2009, is holding its annual Heartbeats Gala this weekend. The Living for Zachary Foundation raises money and awareness in an effort to help prevent sudden cardiac arrest. Frostfest in Irving. Saturday's chilly weather will be perfect for this weekend's Frostfest in Irving. The Levy Event Plaza will host the celebration of winter from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. There will be snow tubing hills, inflatables, and plenty of art and fun. Sunday, February 18th, you've got Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood live at Texas Trust CU Theater. Some of your kids' favorite characters will come to life in Grand Prairie this weekend. Show will start at 2 p.m. Opal Lee's Black History Sunday service at St. Luke's Community UMC in Dallas. The grandmother of Juneteenth, Opal Lee, will be a part of a special worship service on Sunday. The 97-year-old will tell her story about her journey to have Juneteenth honored as a national holiday. The service is set to begin at 10 a.m. Daytona 500 watch party at Texas Motor Speedway. You can watch the Daytona 500 this Sunday surrounded by race fans. The full weekend of NASCAR season opener will be able to be viewed on Big Hoss, the TMS big screen. There is a free in-field campaign and tailgating party both Saturday and Sunday. Alrighty, and those are the fun things that you can do around Dallas this weekend. Everybody, thank you for waking up with me. You guys go ahead and enjoy the rest of your day. Have a good day at work, or maybe you're just having a nice family Saturday. Either way, stay safe out there and stay breezy.